my Father I have made known unto you. That is such a great privilege for God himself speaking through his Son to say that we are his friend. Now, let us look at some of the very profound things that Christ taught us while he was alive and that are essential aspects of our faith today. Quite a number of it. Number one is that we have a God that is looking, searching for worshippers. So it's not a God that expects people to come. No, our God is the God that is searching out for worshippers. He's not saying he's going to sit down and let them come. No. Scripture tells us that our God is searching for worshippers. It says the Father searcheth for those who will worship him in spirit and in truth. So one of the profound things that Jesus told us about God. Another thing that he told us is what we've just learned, that we are his friends. A God that makes his adherents, those that worship him, makes them friends, brings them to the level of partnership, almost equal level. Bible says, for instance, that we are joint heirs with Jesus Christ. And so we have a God that is saying that you can come up to become my friend. And when you become a friend with somebody, it suggests a particular level of partnership, almost equality. This is one of the profound things that Christ taught us. A God that is searching for worshippers, a God that calls those that worship him his friend. Another thing that we have learned, profound lesson that Jesus has taught us, is that our God is the God of all graces. That means, in my understanding, by the leading of the Spirit, the only way that God can relate with us as a God, and we being human beings, is for God to become a God of grace. Now, what does it mean when we talk about grace? What does grace mean? Grace is simply an unmerited favor, something that you don't deserve that you get. And so God decided that the only way that he might have a reasonable, a useful relationship with people is for him to step down from his majesty and come down to the level of human beings, and it is called grace. So that he doesn't judge you by the weakness of your personality or whatever, but he elevates you to his own level. It is called grace. And so that you get the things that you don't necessarily deserve. As a matter of fact, you get things that you can't even aspire to. For instance, salvation. Salvation. How else can we be saved? The Bible says that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. The Bible says that everyone has fallen short of the glory of God. There is no one that is holy. No, not one. Because every act of unrighteousness is a sin. There is no such person on the face of the earth that has lived, that is living, or that will live, that can measure up to the perfection and the holiness of God. As God also therefore says, I'm going to bring some kind of facility so that you can relate with me. And that facility is what is called grace. Tell somebody, I am a candidate of grace. And so we have this God who is looking for worshippers. We have this God who calls those who worship him friends, operating by the standard operating procedure that is called grace. It's the only reason why God can interface or relate with people. If you remove grace from the relationship of God, there can be no kind of interaction. Grace is the reason why he sent his son. Grace is the reason why he offered us salvation. Grace is the reason why he doesn't judge us by our weaknesses and our failures. Grace is the reason why he blesses us in spite of ourselves. Grace is the reason why he is faithful to us even when we are not faithful to him. It is by grace. I want you to say to yourself and say, I'm a beneficiary of grace. 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 10. 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 10. The Bible says that this God, our God, is a God of all graces. But the God of all grace, the God of all grace, who had called us unto his eternal glory by Christ Jesus, after that ye have suffered a while, make you perfect, establish you, strengthen you, and settle you. Why is it possible for God, who is far above us? Why is it possible for a God that we can never meet up to his standard to be able to strengthen us, to establish us, to even have a relationship with us, to settle us? It is because he's the God of all grace. Is the God of all grace. Tell somebody, God is the God of all grace. And if you look at these things that we're talking about, that we are beginning to be introduced to, one of the things that we will find is that this is completely contrary to conventional wisdom. In the world, gods are meant to be appeased. That's the number thing. If this is a God, and these are the people that are supposed to be worshiping that God, there is a lot of appeasement. But this God is different. This God is the one that is reaching out. It's not a God that you need to appease. As a matter of fact, we cannot appease God. What can we offer him? But he offered himself through his son. So you see the foundations of a contrary faith, a contrary notion, or what I call a contrary gospel. For instance, again, this is a God that is so humble. Jesus Christ is God. He is so humble. He was so humble until he was humiliated and killed. Which God does that? How can you kill God? Because this is a God that is really, really desperate for relationship with people. This is a God that is trying to draw people to himself. And so, he leaves his majesty and comes down to our own level. He becomes so humble until he is crucified. This is the foundation of a contrary. It doesn't align with our senses. It doesn't align with the conventional logic. How can you have a God that is humble? Alright, so now let's look about divine friendship. Let's look quickly about the concept of divine friendship. Number one, this God calls us his friends. We've said that already. The concept of a God as friend is as strange and is contrary to conventional knowledge and only exists in Jesus Christ. If you remove Jesus Christ from the equation, you cannot have a God that is a friend to us. It only exists because of Jesus Christ. And somebody will say that, oh, what about the fact that even Abraham called God called Abraham his friend? What about that? Well, the reason that happened was because Jesus Christ was there at the beginning. The Bible says that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was what? Was with God, and the Word was God. And Jesus is the Word. So Jesus was even at play. Remember that Abraham himself said that he had seen the gospel. He said he knew. Jesus said that Abraham knew about him. And so if you remove Jesus Christ, there cannot be friendship. And the concept of a God as a friend, which is a very strange concept, which is a contrary concept, is only possible because of Jesus Christ. And my prayer today, as we remember his resurrection, is that the blessings of that friendship will continue to abound in your life in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. If you receive it, say better amen. Amen. So it is the grace that we talked about that made it possible for God to call us his friend. Point number 2, talking about divine friendship. This God who is our friend, who called us friends, not that we are the one that we are trying to be wannabe. You see, because you can be a wannabe. You are saying, oh, God is my friend. You can drop it all over the place and say, hey, you know what? God is my friend. And no. God is the one saying it. Now, so this God that said that we are his friend was killed. Again, another strange and contrary concept. Very strange. Just as the concept of a God who calls us his friend is contrary and strange, so is the concept of a God who died. How can God die? There's a reason for it. Because he wanted to bring salvation to us. Because the Bible makes it very clear that without the shedding of blood, there can be no remission to sin. Somebody has to die. And it's not just anybody. Whoever is going to have to die must be the one that is pure, whose blood has never been tainted. And God found out that, well, I have to do it myself. And so this God, who is in the exercise of grace, determined to save us, God himself killed, just so we can be saved. This God was killed. Let somebody say better hallelujah. Hallelujah. The most incredible thing in the face of the heart is to have a God who died. And we still say it's God. Well, I mean, I grew up in Africa, you know, in Yoruba, among the Yoruba people. I'm Yoruba originally, and well, I'm still Yoruba, not originally, I'm always Yoruba. And we have concept of all kinds of gods, you know.